Hello and welcome to Crochet Creations. Today I wanted to go over how to read a basic yarn label because it's one of those things that I kind of just figured out over time. I didn't really understand what I was looking at as a beginner, and I want to go over all of the things you need to know as a crochet beginner so that you're not as stressed as I was. So for this, I have a beautiful pink skein of some Bernat Softy Baby with this weird little baby sticking their tongue out. I wonder how old that child is now. I'm always so curious. Anyway, where's the Gerber baby now? And when you turn it around, you get a lot of information. And there's a lot of things that can be very overwhelming. So if you are a little bit overwhelmed by yarn labels, this video is for you. But before we jump in, I just kindly ask that you subscribe to the channel and help me on my road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm really excited. I feel like it's happening, getting some subscribers faster than I thought I would. So I'm excited that all of you are here with me. So let's jump into how to read yarn labels. So we're going to start here. We have the name of the yarn. This is the company that makes it, easy peasy. And we're just going to kind of work our way up and go over all of the information that you can see. So the first thing you're going to see is the amount of yarn. So for this, we have 5 ounces or 140 grams. When you read crochet patterns or knitting patterns, you might see they tell you how much yarn to use either in grams or ounces or in yards or meters. And all of that information is located on your yarn label. This is going to help you purchase the right amount of yarn so that you don't end up with a whole bunch of extra balls of yarn in your stash. Because having a huge stash is annoying, to be honest with you. And if we go up, you can see it says net weight, so that's all of that information here. Then we have the actual material that the yarn is made of and the fiber content. So for this yarn specifically, this is 100% acrylic, but you might see that it could be an acrylic and cotton blend, bamboo, you might see wool, alpaca. There are so many different things that you would see depending on what kind of yarn, but this is a 100% acrylic yarn from Michaels. So this is where a lot of people are going to get confused because there's just so much information here. And this is one that is going to be very, very important for you. So you'll see a little box here and it has a square with a number in it. And that is going to be the yarn weight. So if you see a pattern that says you need a DK weight or size 3 yarn, this is what you're looking for. If you see one that says 4 or worsted weight yarn, you're going to be looking for one that has a 4 listed here. So a good example of a size 4 yarn is like a Karen Simply Soft, which you can also get at Michaels. So that's what that one's going to mean. These 2 boxes here are going to show you the recommended hook size or the recommended needle size if you're knitting, as well as gauge with those hooks. So if you were knitting and you're using 4mm knitting needles, you would get 22 stitches per 10 centimeters or 4 inches. If you're using the recommended 4mm crochet hook size, you're going to get 16 stitches, 19 rows in a 10 by 10 centimeter or 4 by 4 inches square. So that's what that's going to tell you there. Underneath here is all of the wash instructions. So if this is something you're going to be making for a child specifically, baby blankets, Softy Baby would be a good baby blanket. All of the information is there. Those are things that I was never taught as a child. It is machine washable and dryable, thankfully, with this one, but a lot of them might say hand wash only, and that is a little bit scary. We don't want to be ruining our projects that we spent hours and hours on by not reading the wash instructions. So this is something that's not normally on a ball of yarn, but this kind of just shows you how to get a center pull by making it into a donut, which is really fun. I like that. But then we have more information as we continue upwards. So we're going to get a little more information up here. So you can see that this is called soft red. We also have it in French and in Spanish. And then underneath that, this bold number here is our dye lot. And this is an important number to pay attention to because let's say you buy 10 skeins of this yarn, you're gonna make a giant blanket and you're really excited about it, but you bought one that happens to be 166031. The color of that might be slightly different because it was made at a different time. You never know what's going to happen, especially if you're using yarns that are more variegated, especially if you're using yarns from indie dyers. Dye lots are so important. Fibers can act differently. They might have changed something in what they actually do to manufacture it. You never know. So if you're getting a lot of yarn for a single project, you want to make sure that the dye lots match. And you can also see, because this is a mass manufactured yarn, it even has the date that it was manufactured. So this was made in November of 2025. And since this is a mass manufactured yarn from Yarnspirations, which is a pretty big company, you can even find some patterns for this specific yarn. And there's even a pattern located on the other side to make this little kitty cat hat that this baby is wearing, who won't stop sticking their tongue out at me. You'll also find on here that you'll see where the yarn was actually made. So this one was made in Turkey, and recyclable for the label, where it was made, all of that information. And that is everything that you see on here. I really hope that just going over it and explaining some of the stuff on here made it a little bit easier so you can understand what you're seeing when you look at all of this info. The really important stuff you need to know is the size of the yarn, the size of the hook if you're crocheting that you would want to use for this yarn. Obviously, it really depends on you and your preferences. You can use whatever hook size you want, that's just recommended. And always make sure that you are able to take care of it. If you're a person like me who throws everything in the washing machine all at the same time and doesn't care if it's hand wash only, you gotta pay attention to stuff like that. But that is how you read a yarn label. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm so glad I get to share all of these aspects of my favorite craft with you. And I'm hoping you're having the most wonderful day because I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.